House rules. Each speaker has 5 minutes. The first and last minutes are protected. The judge will ring a bell to signal the protected time. The bell will ring continuously after 5 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen of this august house, I salute you. Good afternoon. I am Joshua Kakande from Namilyango College, and we are affirming the resolution. It has been resolved that this house believes that the UN should intervene militarily in other people's wars. Now, what is to intervene militarily? To intervene militarily is the deliberate act of a nation or a group of nations to introduce military forces into the course of an existing controversy, whether asked to, allowed to, or not. My source is the Dictionary of Military and Associated Terms of the U.S. Department of Defense, 2019. What people's wars? Now, people's wars, or literally a war in the popular sense is a conflict among political groups or countries involving hostilities of considerable duration and magnitude. Now, what is the UN? The UN is an intergovernmental organization that was tasked to maintain international peace and security, to develop friendly relations among nations, and achieve international cooperation, and be a center for harmonizing the actions of nations. It was founded on October 24th, 1945, in a city in the United States of America called San Francisco, in a state called California. It has its headquarters in the New York City, and its Secretary General is Antonio Guterres. The founder members are Venezuela, the United States of America, and India, among others. Briefly about the United Nations, I've already told you that, and the member states are over 193. These include Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, India, Japan, China, among very many other countries. The United Nations has 6 organs with which it conducts its work. They have the General Assembly, they have the UN Secretariat, they have the Economic and Security Council, they have the Trusteeship Council, and the Security Council. Now, this Security Council is the one that we are here to discuss about. This Security Council is the one that intervenes militarily. It is the one that takes the initiative. It is its responsibility to maintain peace, international peace, in the whole world. I have set my parameters as the whole world because the UN has member states all over the world. So we shall use our parameters as the whole world. The United Nations has intervened on several occasions. It has intervened in very many countries. Countries such as South Sudan, Afghanistan, Srebrenica, Rwanda, Iraq, and very many other countries. Why should the UN intervene? People, we are here to discuss why the UN literally has to intervene. 1, wars are a threat to national peace, regional peace, and international peace. And our work as the United Nations is to maintain peace, whether by force or by peace. The second one, protection of civilian objects. What are civilian objects? These are objects such as schools, hospitals, churches, mosques, and others, literally places that are used by civilians. The reason as to why we are here to say that the UN should intervene militarily It is because it is our duty to maintain international peace. That was the first and main objective as to why we were placed. Ladies and gentlemen, I have never been prouder to affirm this resolution. I rest my case.
Namilyango College from Jinja College. Resolved, this House believes that UN should intervene militarily in other people's wars. I am currently impressed by the affirmers who have come here and stated parameters as the whole world. Sincerely speaking, currently we have 193 member states as the member states of the UN. So, are they trying to say that 193 states are the only countries in the whole world? We have questions about that. So, what is our stand, we as the negators? Our parameters have been specified and we are using South Sudan. Why? The United Nations has used peaceful measures and it has been able to combat the war in South Sudan. Currently, the head of United Nations mission in South Sudan urged on 28th November 2016, the people in South Sudan, regardless of their ethnic affiliation, must unite towards creating peace and national identity. So, we are seeing that the UN is encouraging the use of peace, not intervening militarily. We don't need bloodshed. Sincerely speaking, one of permanent members on the United Nations Security Council, these are powerful countries who have nuclear weapons. See, are you going, where are elephants fight from? It's the grass that normally suffers. So, their farmers should really give us concrete information that the civilians are not going to be affected at all. Which type of force are they going to use? They have not even specified which type of force they are going to use. United Nations Security Council is normally led countries, permanent countries on the United Security Council. So they need to specify which country is running the United Nations Security Council. To be informed, currently it is France. So that was our expectation as the negators. At which level are they going to intervene in these rules? Sincerely speaking, you can't just bump into things. You need to follow protocol. You're not going to, just because you've had a civil war in the member states, in one of your member states, you're just going to bump into things. No. You need to seek permission first from the government, because that is the essence as to why some of these member states are independent. We are independent, which means we are competent. What we have is enough. So,
point of information.
Granted.
Are you aware of the UN Charter, Chapter 7, Article 42?
It is not relevant for now, but all in all...
Are you aware of it?
No.
Thank you.
But all in all, one of the objectives of the UN is to promote peace in her member states. So when you say you're going to intervene militarily, you're encouraging bloodshed, dear August House, nuclear bombs. Just imagine of what USA is capable of, assuming it's given this chance to intervene militarily. If you are to intervene militarily, this clearly shows that you want to show who's better than the other. You're using the context of saving civilians, but this is not the case. You want to show who's stronger than the other. And at the end of it all, people are going to die. Property is going to be destroyed. So please, the farmers should look into that. They have not set the time frame. I think just because there's a civil war in a country like, they have even not set the parameters. So just because there is civil war in a member state, they're just going to bump into things. They're not even going to take protocol, like asking for requisition from the government. They should look into that. The United Nations Supervision Mission in South Sudan, which was led by David Shearer, the head on 8th March, according to news.un.org, he said clear states and encouraged the use of peace, not force, because these two conflicting parties, Riek Machar and Salva Kiir, came on to a round table. That's what we call amnesty. They shared views here and there, and at the end of it all, Sudan is at peace. So what is our call as the negators? We are advocating for peace. We do not want to intervene militarily. We don't want bloodshed. I rest my case.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.